Alright guys, this is our third meeting via YouTube. I want to touch on a few things. This is for August 30th of 2007. Number one on my list, pretty important problem that's kind of occurred recently is the shirt. The Trivia Guy shirt or the polo that you have. Keep in mind, this is our uniform. Every job you will ever have will have some sort of dress requirement. And this is our requirement, is a t-shirt. That's all it is. The reason I bring this up, there are a lot of hosts that are being lazy and not wearing their Trivia host shirt, Trivia Guy shirt. Trivia Girl shirts are on their way. You know how that is. The point is this is a requirement. This is non-negotiable. We are trying to create a brand, something that will last for years to come. And when you got Matt Griffin showing up in a toga to do trivia, it's not working. He's not showing up to do trivia in a toga, but you get the point. You know, this isn't wear what you got on. This is wear what the requirement is, which is a trivia shirt, Trivia Factory shirt. Number two on my list, I want to talk about the questions. The bonus question, I want everyone to understand, as a trivia host, you have complete and total control over the requirements for getting the bonus question right. What I mean by that, instead of doing 5 out of 5 every week, if you've got a bad week of questions as far as the answers that people are turning in, and you've got low scores, don't hesitate to do 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5. Or turn 3 answers in out of those 5 questions, and all 3 have to be right. In other words, make it easier, you know, if you need to. Now, if you've got everybody getting every question right, you're going the opposite way. You're going to make the question hard. You're going to want perfect 5 out of 5 answers turned in. This also goes for the regular questions. If you've got a show with a bunch of dumb people playing, don't hesitate to dumb down the questions. In other words, hints, multiple choice, words that are in the question that you add to make it a little easier to get. For instance, instead of saying what states, say what southeastern state. Instead of saying what beach, say what Florida beach. Along those lines, you understand. Just understand that you have complete control, and we want to make sure that everyone is having fun, because after all, we are selling entertainment. We're using trivia as a vehicle for that, but entertainment is the idea here. And if a team is, you know, getting the bonus question wrong for 6 weeks in a row, that's not a lot of fun. So we need to dumb down the questions if the show warrants that. Now, certainly we don't want to take this and run with it and be irresponsible. You certainly have to be responsible for the questions and the way you ask them. So just keep that in mind. You do have control over that. Excuse me. Tiebreakers. This happened just this week, and it's the first time that it's happened. Basically, if you have 2 teams that are tied and you do a tiebreaker question, the winning team will receive 1 extra point, which will give them, those 2 teams, 2 separate scores. Whatever the standings are after that, you will post the top 3 scores to Tumblr. Pretty simple. If you have any questions on that, let me know. I want to do a Hit 50 update. Before we started Hit 50, or unveiled Hit 50 rather, we were at about 28, 29 trivia shows. Well, through a lot of hard work on your part and my part and the support staff at the Trivia Factory, we have managed to get up to 35 shows. That's 6 shows in less than 3 months, which is really good. So I want to personally thank you guys for helping us out. Hit 50 is quickly upon us. 15 shows, which, you know, by the end of the year, I'm hoping we'll have 40, and by the summer of next year, we should definitely have 50. So, you know, get your bathing suit ready. I also want to touch on one other thing. In fact, we'll have 39 shows by the middle of September. We've gotten 4 restaurants to sign up for a new product that we're doing called Music Trivia. I'll be sending out a separate email explaining Music Trivia. Basically, we've got Partners Pizza in Noonan, Tyrone and Fayetteville, and then Loco's Deli and Pub in McDonough that are going to be doing this music trivia. The good thing with this music trivia, obviously it adds 4 more shows, but more importantly, it adds 4 more shows on a new day. All these shows are going to be done on Saturday at 7:30. This may be music to your ears. A lot of hosts have been looking for another day, but just they're not available. So we've got this music trivia on a whole different day altogether, Saturdays. Depending on the popularity and the execution of music trivia, for those hosts that are going to be doing it, depending on the popularity and execution, we may be adding Friday shows in other areas of Georgia, of Atlanta. So keep that in mind. This is going to be good for everybody. Announcements at the end of your show. Make sure you're announcing the MySpace page, the Tournament of Champions, and now we need you to announce the emails. We are looking for emails from the trivia teams. We've got a new marketing program headed up by Alex Rafael that is going to be touched on email. This email marketing program is constantcontact.com. Basically, what we're allowed to do, I'm going to say basically 2 more times before this is over. Basically, what we're doing is sending full color HTML emails to every trivia every trivia team that we have an email address for. We're talking pictures, logos, big bold colors. You guys have already received a couple of these, so you'll know what I'm talking about. What we need you to do is announce that we're looking for email addresses, and all they got to do is go to our website. Underneath the Where to Play roster of shows, they'll see a little line or whatnot, a box. They just type their email address in and they're locked in. Tell them we're not selling their email address. We're not going to send them spam. We're not going to send them anything that's not warranted. This is just strictly to convey communication with the teams on new shows and announcements and change in times. It's strictly based for trivia knowledge. We'll probably also start doing some extra points on there, so they can look forward to that too. I want to touch on, we've actually added 2 more trivia hosts to our team. First, starting with Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson lives in Duluth, and he's actually hooked us up with Bogies. Bogies will be starting this Tuesday at 7:30. They will be doing 2 shows, regular trivia and adult trivia. So a big thanks to Ryan Johnson. You'll see a little compensation for that show in your paycheck that you get. We also want to welcome Jerry Wembley to the staff, to the roster of trivia hosts, to the team. I personally trained Jerry along with Adam Mullen and Alex Rafael. Jerry lives in Atlanta. He is an up-and-coming actor, actually. He does improvs on the weekends and then small-time commercials, waiting for that big break. So get his autograph while he's with us. He will be taking over one of the sliced pizzas in the near future. We want to welcome him. We are also training 3 more trivia hosts. I've got made contact with 3 more coming up pretty soon. We'll be doing an orientation. So if I call you and need your help to train these guys, I hope that you accept the challenge and can help us out. The other thing I want to touch on, Tumblr website. A little lax in the last couple weeks on posting the trivia scores, only from a few of you. Most of you are doing a very good job, and I want to thank you. I also want to make sure Mike Young, I have not talked to you personally about this yet, but make sure when you put down posted by Mike Young or Punisher or whatever you're doing, put down the number of teams that you started with. Just the number. Don't put teams 9. Just put the number 9. I think that's it for now. I do want to touch on a last quick thing to leave you with, a little advice. Don't leave your computer in your car. Aside from the ability of someone taking it, we've had one burn up. Basically, the screen is completely white. The computer is useless now. We looked into replacing the screen, and of course it costs as much as the computer does. So if you guys are especially using one of my computers that I personally bought, please leave it out of your car. Bring it inside where the air conditioning is. It's really hot outside now, and especially in the trunk of cars and inside of cars. It can easily get over 120 degrees inside your car. Little kids are dying. Computers are dying too. So bring your computer inside. I think that's it for now. Of course, if you have any questions or comments or complaints, let me know as soon as possible.